You gotta be kidding me. All right. What is up, everybody? Thank you for choosing the video. We're back at it again. Welcome to episode 4 of the Storytime Podcast. It's been a while. I figure we'll kick it back up because I got some stories. So, why don't you grab a seat and let's get into the story, shall we? Back at it again. Got a little drizzle coming down, but it's not supposed to rain till this afternoon. That makes sense, right? So, you like how we did that, by the way? Now it's like we're sitting beside each other. Now it's really starting to come down. Hey, you gotta be kidding me. So, we got some cowboy coffee going. Let's get into this story, shall we? So years ago, I filmed a video, camping trip. It was going to be a camping trip in the rain, actually. That's funny enough. And so I went out, set up shop, filmed the video. And it's actually one of the only videos that in my YouTube career that I didn't post. And the reason why is because it was literally half an hour of me sitting under a tarp in the rain talking. And so I was like, this isn't content, it's kind of boring, put it that way. Until, or no, I should say, but two things happened during that trip that I'll never forget, basically. The first thing that happened is the title of this episode, which is Eyes in the Night. So the sun had gone down and I was sitting and I was doing what I call are my rounds, which, if you don't know, is I'll turn my headlamp on and I'll kind of just make sure everything's good around me. And I still do it. I'll just wrap everything around, make sure that nothing's going on, Oh, we're getting a nice rainfall, yeah. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, that figures. So I was doing my rounds. Now, to the right of me, there was a hill that I was camped beside. And it gotten dark, and I was doing my rounds, and I went to that hill, and I saw what I thought, it's really funny, but it's true. I thought it was street lights. And I was like, that's weird. Why would there be street lights? Like, I'm not near any roads. Why would there be street lights? So I turned my headlamp off and it went away. And I turned my headlamp back on and boom, they came back. And I was like, oh, that's not street lights. Those are eyes. Right. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Ay, ay, ay. This is funny because it's just proving my point that you can't predict the weather. This was supposed to come this afternoon, and my phone is getting drenched. Oh, anyways, seems to be dying down a little bit now. So, back to the story. Sorry. Doing my rounds, I see the eyes. I'm like, oh, that's not streetlights, those are eyes. And they were pretty ways away. It's not like it was right beside me, but it was far enough that I was like, what is that? And so in my head, I was like, okay, something's over there is the point. And this was actually a really important time in my sort of outdoorsy career where I realized there's nothing I can do, basically. Sure, you could pack up and you could leave, right? But that would have been more dangerous hiking out at night with the terrain that I was on and everything. It would have been really dangerous to do that. And so I realized there's something over there I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to keep my eye on that hill and see what happens. And so every once in a while, I'd shine my light over there, and the eyes were there. Like, we're talking like every 10 seconds, basically. So, okay, something's over there. So I sat for a little bit, and I sort of, got over that, I guess is the best way to put it. Bring your stress down, right? Something's over there. It's a coyote, it's a deer, it's not a bear or something like that. Then I turned my headlamp back on, and I looked over, and there were two sets of eyes. And I was like, oh, okay, something's going on here, because the one hadn't moved and another one came up. So I was like, okay, something's going on here. They're watching me. This is could be a problem, I guess is the best way to put it. So now I'm getting pretty stressed out because I'm assuming it's two coyotes over there. They're watching me. How am I going to sleep? The stress level goes up. And so I'm sitting there contemplating all of this, and I'm like, what do I do? Can I bail? Yeah, this rain's not going to let up, eh? This is so funny. I tried to beat this. Either way, we're already wet. Let's do it. So I'm sitting there contemplating all of this. What do I do? Right? About, 5 minutes or so goes by. I turn on my headlamp. They're gone. And I'm like, okay, now it's even worse, right? Where did they go? Where are they? I don't know what's going on. And so I had to sit there. Sorry, I'm trying to like cover my legs so that I'm not getting soaked. So I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of contemplating what to do. What do I do? There's animals around me. Chances are they're not going to like attack me, right? But okay. Well, now that we're thoroughly soaked, there's no point in waiting anymore. So let's finish up the story. So I saw the eyes. That scared the crap out of me. The second thing that happened was after the rain died down, I was sitting there. The entire patch of woods lit up with fireflies. And I mean, there was like hundreds of them, not like two or three, a couple, the entire patch of woods. It was honestly one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And I tried to get it on film, but my camera wasn't really that good, so I wouldn't pick it up. But it was honestly one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And what's kind of funny is it took my mind off of the animals immediately. I was like, wow. And it lasted for a while. Put it that like it blew my mind how many fireflies were out and flying around, and it almost lit up the entire patch of woods. It was so beautiful. And again, like it really took my mind off. I forgot about the animals. I went to sleep, woke up, everything was fine. And then, like I said in the beginning, I didn't end up posting the video because it was just me sitting there waiting for the rain to stop. And yeah, it wasn't very good content. It was kind of boring, I guess is the best way to put it. So I gotta say it was an experience that I realized about wildlife, which is like there's some of the time, I guess, not most of the time or all the time, there's really nothing you can do. Um, unless wildlife is right at your camp, and they're usually just walking by, or even if they're just checking you out, like, what is that? Oh, it's a human. And they 9 times out of 10, they'll go the other direction, right? Though you always have that one that's a little curious, might walk up onto your camp, but that pretty much sums up. Sorry, I stood here for about 45 minutes waiting for this to stop. I don't think it's going to. That just hit me in the eye. Uh, Borderline train wreck. We got horns and everything. That's my story. It, it went from pretty intense to absolutely beautiful in a matter of, I'd say, you know, half an hour to an hour. But definitely one of the scariest moments, or I guess stressful moments of my camping career, if you want to call it that, is just seeing eyes. Because when you see eye, like they're looking at you. It's a strange, stressful feeling to have, wildlife looking at you from a distance, and then to see two sets of eyes. I was like, oh no, how many more are there going to be? Like it just got really stressful and started to build up, and then poof, it was gone. Once I saw the fireflies, it was just unbelievable. But that's going to sum up this episode of the podcast. In the future, I'm going to be having guests. It's not just going to be me rambling on with my spews. That's the plan, is to have people on, talk about stories in the bush, whether it's crazy or, amazing, or just really stories about being in the woods and camping, and experiences in the woods is the best way to put it. So we're bringing the podcast back. Hopefully it's not pouring rain next time, but yeah, it is what it is. Got to kind of just deal with it sometimes, right? So I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody who subscribes. Best way to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. Again, you can also check out my membership. We got videos. I'm posting videos regularly, I guess is the best way to put it. And yeah, you're feeling generous, you can check out my GoFundMe page, which the link is in my channel bio. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Oh, I am soaked.